Good morning, good morning. How are you guys? Nice to have you again. Hope you guys had a good weekend. Lots of stuff going on since the weekend. A lot of stuff going on. Boy, crazy, crazy. Today's Tuesday, November 26th, 2024. Um, like many of you, I was looking at USCAD yesterday and saw this incredible spike taking place. Incredible spike. Now, usually when events take place that cause a move in the markets, it's usually in line with the agenda of the institutions. Meaning, if the banks wanted price to go up, that's the direction that price is going to be heading in after the events take place. And when we look at the US CAD, the one thing we can see is that the last zone that was contacted was an institutional demand zone, okay? And that's when you could see that when we open up the daily chart. So here's the zone that I'm talking about. All right, so price, they created a demand area here. They rallied price up, and then they drop price right into that area of demand. But the overall theme, like I like to call it, the overall theme that was in play was a profit taking. Um, well, the last set of data we saw, they increased their longs again, but it's the anticipation of the profit taking on long positions that we are watching for. Now, yes, they increased them. Look at the positions here. 194, 202, 204, 27, 207. So they've been increasing up until November 19. So November 19 would take us to right here. This candle here. Right? So that's the banks. This is a constant increase in long positions up until here. Right? Now remember, retail traders have been aggressive with their short positions, and we start to see that sell-off in those positions as price was turning over. So things were looking pretty good for that sell-off. Now the sell-off, according to the banks, hasn't started yet. They haven't, forcefully offloaded long positions, as you can see. Okay, 207. We're still underneath that maximum size of 219. Last time we reached 219 back in July, we saw the major sell-off of those long positions, and we saw price turn over pretty quickly. So we haven't seen that yet take place, but this spike got me out of my trade because I had my stop above the weekly area of supply, and this spike up stopped me out, which is unfortunate, but hey, it happens. So, apparently Trump posted something on his social, or his Truth Social, and that he might be putting 25% tariffs on Canadian imports until Canadian government fixes issues with the border, with drugs passing into the states. I don't know if that's even happening. I don't know about the subject. It's quite an interesting one. Trump is also accusing Canada of allowing a lot of people to come into the country illegally. I don't know what's going on with that, but apparently Trump tweeted something and it caused this spike up. So interesting. This is a weekly supply zone, okay? And typically we don't see breaches of weekly zones. We don't typically see that. Daily zones, more often, 4-hour zones, if there's an event, easy breezy, we see breaches through those areas. But weekly zones we typically don't see. So it's a little bit disappointing, but that's fine. That's fine. We know that the banks have still to offload their long positions, so we're going to be waiting for that. And there might be a new setup. Who knows? There might be a new setup for a short. But for now, for the time being, I'm staying away from this one. Okay. I'll be looking for other trades. There's a lot of other things going on in the markets right now that are a lot higher probability than speculating on how this one's going to drop at this time. If we get a nice sell signal, I'll consider getting in. For me, what would be a sell signal is I'm going to watch this zone here. As I've mentioned before, and members have received this message already before. When price drops to this zone, it will play an important role in whether price drops significantly or not. Okay. So I've had this before price even entered into this area. So as you can see, price came in and rallied up. So this is the key area that needs to be removed from what I'm looking at to really open up the chart for a move lower. Okay. So that hasn't happened yet. With my positions, I got into some starter positions. They weren't a full-size position because of these elements that had not yet played out. For me, for a short signal, we need institutional demand to be removed, and it hadn't taken place here. On the 4-hour chart, it had, but it was too early to call for a move down when the demand on the daily chart was still holding. Okay, this was a good sign, that demand, but we still had demand here on the daily chart. Okay, so you know, if a lower time frame demand is nested within a higher time frame demand, we still need the higher time frame demand to be removed. It's a good sign when the smaller time frame gets taken out, but it's not a definite sign. So I'll be watching for that, looking for some type of a move to the downside with that daily demand removed. With that said, if the USCAD does drop, and I think there's a good chance of that, if the USCAD does drop, I mean, you look at the data and it's just, you know, where are they going to go from here? You look at long positions, where are they going to go from here? They're going to keep on adding. Okay, maybe they reach 219, 220, 222. What are they going to keep doing? They're going to keep adding until 240, 250. Unlikely. The chance of that is you know, 10%. So when you have such low odds of something happening, you know that the reversal is going to come. So with that being said, you know, here's the 4-hour chart where I like to track the positions of retail traders. And as you can see, they were at 20K here, 21K here at the highs, all right? And then they start to bail on their positions, which is what was allowing for this reversal, okay? It became 17K, 16K, and then down here at the lows, we had 15K. So this was looking pretty good, okay? The missing element was the banks were not offloading their positions, at least up until the data that we received. Could we see something different this coming Friday? Definitely. And it's possible that we're going to see some profit taking because they report their positions today. Today's Tuesday. This move up took place yesterday. So it's possible that they're going to start taking their positions off from these highs. Very possible. Very curious, though, that this spike up took place right before the day that they have to report their positions. So it's going to be interesting. It's something that I'm going to be definitely thinking about when I see the data this Friday. I'm going to be thinking about whether or not this played a role. Did Trump play a role in helping to facilitate the reduction of positions? I don't know. What's their positions at now? Let me take a look here. 93% are holding short at 15K. So they were at 15, then at 14, then they added back in. This is quite interesting. You don't usually see retail this stubborn. So let's select this and do that. Oops. And let's see, 93 is, oh, hold on. 93 at 15K. So they're back up with their positions. I'm staying out. I'm not going to speculate up here. I'm going to wait for that signal like I mentioned on the daily. Okay, so with that being said, what does this mean for the rest of the assets that we look at? We also saw a nice drop in gold. Why did that take place? Well, we had weekly supply here. It fell short of hitting it, but still, that could definitely be supply coming into play here. Okay, so the supply came up at the top. Let's take a look at positions here on gold. As we can see over the last few weeks, they've been profit taking. Okay, October 22nd is when they reached a second peak here. October 22nd, so that was up here at the highs, okay? And then the drop took place. And as you can see, the reason why was profit taking on long positions. So this move lower came from profit taking on long positions. At the same time, we could see that they increased a little bit of their shorts, going from 71 to 75 to 87, all right? This is why that's a supply area up there, because of the addition of the short. So we rallied price up right back to that supply, and then we saw this drop. This is reminiscent of institutional movement here, okay? Usually major profit taking or a major accumulation of a short is what will cause a drop like this. So what I'm really going to be looking at is positions, okay? Because again, today's the 26th. That drop took place on the 25th, which is good because it'll be within inside the time limits of the data that they're going to be reporting. So when we look at the data this coming Friday, we'll see whether or not they were adding to shorts or more profit taking on long positions, okay? So very interesting. But this is looking pretty good for a continued move lower, I think, over time. Not that it's going to happen right now, okay? So let's think about this. If the USCAD is destined to drop because of positions, then that means likely we're going to be seeing upside pressure on the euro, okay? And so we've been seeing price just stalling out down here, not doing much. We had a push to the downside, then a back up, recently a move to the downside, now back up again. The reason why this is taking place is simply because we had a very nice move to the downside on the higher time frames, okay? So getting in here at the lows is very dangerous because we've just moved in that direction. Now, we do have a bearish bias over a longer period of time, but we need to find the right setup to enter into a short position. Now, I mentioned to members where I would be getting in for a short, but we're not there yet. Okay, we're not there yet. And so, to time where this reversal is going to take place, I would be looking at the US CAD. Where's this drop going to take place from? I would feel a lot more comfortable waiting for this area to be removed first so I can assess the situation at that time and see where the euro is at that point. Because remember, if this drops down here, then we could, very likely receive a move like that, okay? And as you can see, we have a daily area of supply here, okay? It came very, very close to being contacted right here before dropping. But if price comes up here and removes that area of supply, it definitely opens up the chart for a move much higher. So if that does happen, I'd be looking for a move up to the 108s up there, give or take. I'd be looking for a move up there. And if price was to get up there, boy, oh boy, this would be an ideal place to enter into a short position. So I'm going to be looking at that going forward, okay? So these are my thoughts going into the week. US CAD, unfortunate that happened. I'm going to play it safe now. I got in with starter positions, trying to time the exact top here, But now, with the shenanigans that recently took place, I'm going to wait for that signal. Okay. In the meantime, I'll be keeping my eye on gold. We were looking at silver the other day as well. I made some interesting notes in the forum for members. We're contacting some supply right now, so we could see a short-term move to the downside definitely play out. Okay, folks. So I'll leave you with that. I hope it was helpful, and hope it gives you a better idea of what's going on and what we're waiting for, what the proper signals are in order for there to be a more sustained momentum in these markets. Be careful. Be careful out there, okay? Because right now, I don't think it's the right time to be getting into these markets. Wait for clearer signals, and when those signals take place, the trades will just happen. It'll look so easy, all right? That's my advice to you. So I hope you guys do play it safe. And until next time, you guys take care, and we'll see you then. Okay. See you later, guys.